August 6th, 2020 meeting of the Athens City Planning Commission. I believe all our members, except one, is here today. So we have one absentee. So we have a quorum established. Is there anyone who is going to speak to the Planning Commission today? If they can just solemnly swear to tell the truth to the Athens City Planning Commission as they know it, just say, I do.
I do.
Okay, terrific. Disposition of minutes. All members can vote on this. Are there any additions, comments regarding the minutes from our last meeting?
Hello.
If not, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that's unanimous with one abstention, or I'm sorry, absence.
One, whatever.
There are no cases today, so we'll move to communications. The Title 41 Athens Middle School renovation. Mr. Riggs, do you care to introduce the topic?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, this is the Athens Middle School. There are actually two buildings on this site located at 51 and 55 West State Street. I think one of them is the school, and the other one is the gymnasium. It's approximately 3,950 square feet of site work. They will be I believe they'll be modifying the two buildings, but not altering the footprint. There'll be some changes to the parking and access.
Okay. Let's see. Are there any questions?
No.
Okay, I do have one question. In light of the COVID virus, has that changed the plans as far as the footprint in terms of social distancing of classrooms, things of that nature, as far as smaller, larger classrooms, or are they just going ahead with the original plans?
And we actually have the architect and the engineer that are here. They could probably do a better job of answering that than I can.
Sure. Somebody want to go ahead?
Yeah, this is Brad. I'm the architect on the project. For this project, it's most of the work is we're not really altering the layout of classrooms or anything like that. Most of the work on this project is more maintenance based. There's some security things that we're correcting, and then the new parking area that I think we're going to talk about today too. So we're not really doing kind of a grand overhaul of this building, if that makes sense.
Okay. Do you care to, you or the other representative care to go ahead and talk about the rest of the plans?
Yeah, I can. I don't. So this is my first Title 41 meeting, so I'm not sure how in depth you want me to go over everything. I have them up on my screen, and I can share if people want me to. But is there?
Christy, Nancy, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
I hate this.
If there's any site questions, I can certainly answer those.
Okay. Do things like parking for disabled people, trash on the outside, do any of those things change?
We're actually improving the parking for disabled users because that was kind of one of the big reasons we're adding this. I think there's 6 or 7 spots that we're adding that will provide ADA access into the building.
Yeah, it's 6 spots that'll be on South Lancaster Street, just south of West State. 2 of those spots will be ADA accessible. This is kind of at the northwest corner of the site, just northwest of the school building. And we're redoing sidewalks in that area. It's the area where there is currently kind of just a quick little arcing pull off of South Lancaster Street. So we'll be redoing the sidewalks in that area also to meet ADA slope requirements.
Okay. Ingress and egress haven't changed.
That's correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
No.
Mr. Riggs, do you know when they plan to bring this back as a case?
Well, we can bring it back as soon as the next meeting. If there aren't any major questions, we've already sent this to the city engineer, the city police, the city fire department, as well as Mr. Loeb for review. So we're a little bit ahead of the ball. If I have to do a public announcement, so I'll have to put my signs out on the site 2 weeks ahead of time. But we certainly have time to do that if the applicant is willing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Riggs. If there's no other questions, comments, I'll go ahead and move on to the next topic.
I have one quick question.
Sure.
Sorry. So I've been told we may need a variance for the head-in parking. The parking we're adding is head-in, which I think someone told me we may need a variance, but that we could discuss it at this meeting. Does anyone know about that?
Mr. Riggs?
Yeah, one of the things we can look at, along with like I said, the review that I've already submitted these plans to. If you haven't, it doesn't look like you made any significant changes to those 6 parking spaces on South Lancaster. Those comments will come at the next meeting, which will be a public hearing for the project.
Okay, that makes sense.
Anything else? Any other comments?
RJ,
Yes.
I need the identity of that last person who spoke.
Oh, do you pronounce your name Losfeld?
Brad Hosfeld. I'm the architect for the project.
No, I mean the caller, the phone number, 937-621-1762.
That's me as well. My computer audio wasn't working for some reason, so I have I'm on the video, and then I'm also the 937 phone number.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Patty. If there's nothing else, we'll move on to thank you to the representatives there.
Thank you.
We'll move on to recommendation from the Environment and Sustainability Commission regarding solar zoning changes. Would that be Mr. Riggs or Mr. Logue handling this?
I can talk about that, RJ.
Thank you.
Are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And I apologize. I'll need to refresh my memory a little bit. But I am a member of the City Sustainability Commission. I'm an direct appointment from Mayor Patterson. The enabling legislation for that commission calls for a member of the city administration to be a member. And I've been on that commission since its inception 6, 7, 8 years ago now, maybe. We talked about some of this. I believe the Planning Commission did talk about this previously. There was a couple presentations that were done probably in the last 24 months, maybe the last 18 months. Everything previous to March gets kind of hazy in my brain right now.
Sure.
A lot of the Sustainability Commission was working on some of this in early 2020. And when we last communicated on this, there was the city and the city administration, city council, as well as the city sustainability commission was trying to build a series of activities, both legislative, administrative, and citizen driven for Earth Month 2020, which was, I believe, the 40th anniversary of the creation of Earth Day in the United States. And basically all of the planning that so many people were working on for Earth Day 2020 fell apart because of a pandemic, unfortunately. And so this was part of that strategy, was to reinvigorate that zoning issue that we talked about in the last 24 months relating to making it easier in our zoning language to allow for the installation of solar panels in our residential neighborhoods. And so the language that you're seeing here is a recommendation from the Sustainability Commission. I believe they voted on it. It was a unanimous vote and was sent to the Planning Commission back on Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. So 5 months ago now, I guess.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'll do my best to try to answer them.
All right. Thank you. Are there any questions for Paul?
Let's see it.
Okay. Is this something then that we can go ahead and vote on in our next meeting?
It certainly could be. This would be a recommendation from the Planning Commission up to City Council. The Planning Commission could do it in one meeting. At the council level, the requirement, there will always be a requirement for 30-day public notice of a public hearing on any zoning changes. But at the Planning Commission level, there is not a requirement for a public hearing if the 5 commissioners don't think it is necessary.
Okay. Would you or Mr. Riggs be bringing this again in that as a case? Would you be bringing it to the commission, or would Mr. Riggs? Or it's just here and we just act on it?
Either one of us could. I can. The document that we sent out, that was in a track changes mode to show you what was changed. But if you'd like me to clean that up as a PDF and identify any strike throughs and additions, I'm happy to do that for the next meeting.
Okay. Would the members like to have that, or they don't need it? Nancy, Christy?
It's okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Okay. I can do it. It's no problem at all.
Okay.
Okay. Terrific. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other comments regarding this issue, the Sustainability Commission? Are all set? Okay. Report from the city planner, Mr. Logue. Good afternoon.
Wow, good afternoon. We're moving quick today. I had an hour and a half blocked off on my calendar, so thank you for.
No smoking and joking on our commission here.
I'll be able to eat some lunch. Just a few things as Chairman Sumney and I have been discussing. If there's an opportunity at the next meeting, I think that'll be on the 16th. Or the next meeting in 2 weeks, I would like, if the commission's okay with it, about 20 minutes or so, and I can do a brief presentation summary on the draft comprehensive plan, some of the key findings and things like that. Chris Fall on City Council said they would like to start moving forward at some point in fall with considering a legislative action to adopt the plan. So. Of course, we need the Planning Commission to be on board and reviewing and giving comment. I am still accepting some comments on it. I'm going to make one final push, hopefully in an email this afternoon or tomorrow, asking people to give me the last round of comment. Have received a little bit so far, most of it being positive. There's always going to be concerns about recommendations for changes, as we all know. And so we'll try to work through all of that. But if the Planning Commission's okay, I'd love to have some of your time next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate. Would the other chief, would you and Nancy and Christy be open to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. And then just a couple other comments, Chairman. As I've mentioned in the past, there is a group that I'm included on called Age Friendly Athens County. We're working through a planning process under the auspices of AARP to have Athens County, including the city of Athens, designated as an age-friendly community. We've divided up into about 9 different, I think we call them basically 9 different categories of topics. I agreed to be a co-chair on one of those along with Shauna Bolin from Ohio University Planning to look at age-friendly, how we can develop age-friendly housing throughout Athens County as well as in the city. So we're looking at some of those best practices. The group as a whole, we're working on building a survey right now that will include questions for community members to give us feedback on issues, needs, strengths, anything relating to the aging experience that we're all going through. So that should be coming, and that's it's a really I'm really excited about this project, and we'll be working on it for the next couple of years. If there's any members of the Planning Commission that are interested in serving on that committee, the whole committee meets about once every 2 months, and then we do have a series of subcommittees that are meeting on what we call I think there's 9 domains. If any members of the Planning Commission are interested, I could send out some summary information, and we're always looking for more community-minded folks to join in on these efforts. No pressure today, though. That's all I had. That's all I had this afternoon.
Were there any comments or questions for Mr. Logue?
No.
The other thing I did want to ask about is with the comprehensive plan, does the city itself have a detailed strategic business plan? Or do we basically rely on some of the agencies that are around town?
We do not, to answer your first question, no, the city does not have a detailed strategic business plan. As the Athens County Economic Development Council is tasked with doing that type of work. They do receive funds from the city to help maintain their services and maintain their staffing, as well as funds from Athens County and Ohio University and possibly Hocking College. So they handle most of that for us. We work closely with them. We also, city council members and the administration also work very closely with the Athens Area Chamber of Commerce and organizations like that. But we've never specifically, to my knowledge, at least in the recent future, the last 15, 20 years, had a specific City of Athens strategic business plan.
Could a little bit more momentum be generated if the city was directly involved, given the university's future and the status of their economic possibilities?
Definitely not. Yeah. I know Mayor Patterson's been really working on a lot of these issues, and many of us, I'm sure on this call, I know I'm one of them. It's a given that we need to be focused on diversifying our local economy. Historically are very fortunate to have an economic base that's a state university. Right. In the short run, that is a liability to us right now based on a pandemic. And so, many people have been advocating for diversifying our local economy for years now. And a lot of people, I don't think really thought it was that big of a deal because the university was always more or less able to provide that base that we rely on. But things are definitely changing, and more detailed discussions about how we can diversify, what our responsibility is, what the Planning Commission's role is with land controls and things like that, I think are all are warranted, RJ. Okay. I'm happy to mention that to the Economic Development Council. I do communicate with them frequently, and I'm sure Mayor Patterson would have a lot of ideas on that too.
Okay. Any other questions, comments for Mr. Logue?
No.
Thank you, Paul. Mr. Riggs, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. I do not have anything for the commission this afternoon.
Okay. Any questions and comments, though, for Mr. Riggs? Okay, thank you very much. Now's the opportunity for any citizens to speak on items not covered in today's agenda. Do we have anybody on the line here? I feel like a talk show host. Caller on number 5. So, we got that. Okay. Nothing there. Announcements and other business. Anyone have any items that they would like to bring up? Okay. Terrific. Our next meeting will be August 20, 2020. And with the business of the Athens City Planning Commission concluded, this meeting stands adjourned. All have a great lunch. Okay.
Thank you.